I'm gonna get lost tonight, gonna take the midnight train. I'm gonna get lost tonight, put a pencil to the page, 'cause I've lost my inspiration. It is driving me insane. I'm gonna find an empty corner, go riding on the midnight train. I'm gonna get lost tonight, the right side of my brain. The left side wasn't working right, so I got it out of the way. One more puff on this laid back, sweet old worry way. I can hear the whistle blowing, all aboard the midnight train. Staring out my window, I'm listening to the rain. I see mountains in the distance, I try to sketch them onto the page. Oh, there's beauty in the darkness, and all my worries drift away. Oh, I'm off and I'm rolling, riding on the midnight train. Distraction on the tracks ahead, I feel the brakes engage, blinded by the headlights and it won't get out of the way. Now I'm thinking about heaven, imagine walking through the gates. Oh, now there's nothing to be done, no, there's no stopping on the midnight train. Pull up to the station as the sun is rising up. I step onto the platform, I let the air fill my lungs, and I sip my cup of coffee and I spill it on the page. Oh, I can hear the whistle blowing, oh, all aboard the midnight train. Oh, can you hear the whistle blowing, oh, all aboard the midnight train. Nice.
All right, welcome to the King's Quarters. This is episode 3. I haven't had an episode in a while, but here we are. Today we have our guest, the Michael Armstrong. Is it Michael Stanton or Michael Armstrong, or all three?
Oh yeah, it's all three. Stanton's my middle name, so like musically I go by Michael Stanton.
Yeah, you got the Michael Stanton, because we're in Michael Stanton in the Shade.
Right.
And that's mostly what we're going to be talking about. You just heard, which song did we just heard?
Midnight Train.
Midnight Train.
One we played, yeah.
Midnight Train is the one that is going to be on the first part of this video.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And then we played The Shade, yeah.
And then we play The Shade. Yeah, because the way that we record this is we record both the songs, and then I figure out mid-conversation which order we're going to do them. Because we are the beacon of professionalism here.
Heck yeah.
But anyway, yes, we have Michael Armstrong here. Tell us about yourself, Michael. A little brief synopsis of your songwriting history.
Yeah, I started writing songs just kind of for fun back in high school, just as a hobby, and didn't really share them with anybody. And then I was into sports in high school. And
Yeah.
Growing up, then when I went to college, just kind of started playing around the campus and with some friends. Then I set it aside for a while I went after some career aspirations and kind of put the music to the side for a while. And I've in the last 3 or 4 years, I've kind of picked it back up and started writing again. So.
Oh, sweet. I love that because I love hearing the perspective of different musicians and what they do with their lives. Because I'm the guy that I just threw all my cards into music, but you have a life.
Yeah, and looking back, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but
yeah,
I mean, I think I thought of music back then as just something I did for fun and as an outlet, and I didn't really ever think of it as an option for career. And I wish I would have, but for some, I just.
I mean, everyone has their own path that they take, right, and something that I learned from one of the great teachers at MSU whenever I went there was that it's like if you got music in you, it's not leaving you. Like you're gonna come back. Sure. It's gonna come back to you.
And it's gotten me through some hard times. I feel like writing songs for me is very therapeutic kind of
thing. That's
kind of always been there, but
I mean that's a real thing that is real important to me about the whole playing music thing is the therapeutic aspect of it. Mm-hmm. I think that's more important than say like the more like almost egotistical aspect, which we cannot deny.
All right, it's like the pure side of
it's the pure side.
That's where it like stems from. But then, you got to
because there is ego.
Yeah,
we all.
In order to get your music out there, there has to be some degree of.
No, that's awesome. And I love the stuff that you make.
Thanks,
it's
man.
really, really accessible. That's my thought. It's especially as a musician myself, I play it. And it's like I know exactly what to play. I don't have to think for a second about what's the right way to play the song. The song plays itself. And I always try to say that is.
Thanks, man.
Songs write themselves.
If you just let them happen.
Yeah. I've been rehearsing here like with different groups every single day, and there's a different style for every single group. With us, you really have it laid out right in front of us. Here's the song.
Right.
There's not much more to do.
It's been cool because I've never really, until I started this band, I had never really played with kind of a full ensemble and to where we could arrange the song,
Yeah.
And so that part of it has been fun and a big learning experience for me. Trying to work with other good musicians and fill out the song the way.
It's. I was gonna ask, how long have you been doing this group? What have been like the formations or because it's probably had a number of people.
Yeah.
So you started. Yeah.
Well, I moved to town a little over 2 years ago, I think, and I just started kind of going around and playing open mics and solo stuff. But Jacob Ferguson and I were we started the band, and he's been with me from the beginning.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then Connor, our current percussionist, he was originally our drummer in the very first part. I think the first name of the band was Lumen in the Shade.
Really?
Yeah, but we decided just to kind of simplify and turn it into the Shade. And then Connor went and worked on some other projects. We got Brian Pitts, who's awesome. He's all around the scene. He came in and played with us, and we had a great bassist and vocalist, Emily McFadden.
Yes.
I think she's moving down to Lake of the Ozarks here pretty soon and kind of going to do her own thing. And that's when you've stepped in a big way and helped us out. So.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and what was I going to talk about?
Well, we've mainly been playing kind of like the festivals and those kind of things while we're building up a little bit of trying to get a following, and then we're going to kind of branch out into more frequent gigs and that kind of thing. Get in the studio soon.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I just love pushing projects. I love pushing people's music. A lot of what I'm doing with this whole thing is specifically designed for people like you, who you're the songwriter. None of this exists without the songwriter, without the the musicians stepping forward and be like, hey, this is what I do, and I'm going to do it a lot, and a lot of it just takes that confidence, which I really am loving seeing with all these people that I work with. Anytime it grows, this confidence of music making, and that's a lot of what I want to cultivate while I'm making all this stuff here in this studio.
Yeah. And that's half the battle, right? It's just like getting the confidence and like
it's the confidence
to put yourself out there.
It's the confidence and the not second guessing yourself. We were having this conversation earlier today during rehearsal of you ever change something and then realize, oh, it was better the first time.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do. Like, just trust your instincts. For some reason, whenever I come up with something, my initial thought or instinct is, I got to do something to make it better, because there's no way it could just come out good, you know.
Yeah.
But
and then I remember whenever I was learning how to improvise, playing bass and stuff, because whenever I first started playing it's like, well, you play the root note and then try to figure out what the hell else to play. But all I knew was like, you play the root note.
Right.
But I was like in college learning how to improvise and doing like solos and stuff, and I was taught by a saxophone player. Nice. So that's why I'm able to like solo and stuff on the bass.
That's cool.
But he mentioned one time about my solos, about like, sometimes you want to go where it's expected, and sometimes you want to go where it's not expected.
Right.
And I think about that sometimes while I'm playing. Is like and you probably get this sort of stuff in songwriting too, but situations where it's like I find myself using the same licks. It's like training my brain to go to the second idea really quickly. It's like, okay, what would I normally play? What's my second idea? Let's go with plan B this time, and then.
Yeah, I find that a lot, because I seem to like write the same song over and over until I'm like intentionally trying to write a different song.
Yeah, and well, I mean that's the I will always talk about this with Paul McCartney. Just always, he says, write as many songs as possible. Just constantly keep writing. That's how you'll get good.
Yeah.
Same with playing. That's the only reason why I have my skill level. I went to college for it, which means that I was put in a place where I was playing my instrument several hours a day around people, nonstop, and then I was going out and playing gigs and just doing it nonstop.
Just like immerse yourself in it.
Yeah, and just the more that you do it, the better you get. You get your, the saying is the 10,000 hours.
Right. Yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Working with you is really easy. That's what I found.
Thanks, man. And I appreciate what you're making here. When you initially told me the idea and kind of the direction, I was like, oh, that's such a great idea. So I'm glad it's going well for you.
Yeah. My just keep pushing. I'm never going to stop making music. So.
You shouldn't have to. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And
there's so many ways nowadays to monetize what you're doing, and
Yep, and that's
just gotta be creative.
That's the goal. I have thoughts. I've got ideas of things I want to do. I want to start being involved in maybe putting together shows or like doing. I got ideas, and then I'll do them, and most of them don't amount to anything, but I still did them, like this podcast.
Yeah, this is great.
But
you never know until you put it out there.
You never know. That's the artist way.
Well, and I appreciate it so much because like this kind of stuff is not my forte.
Yeah.
I believe in playing to your strengths and teaming up with other people who have different strengths.
Yeah,
and working together to kind of accomplish things. So.
This isn't. I often work on the throw myself in the fire method.
Oh yeah.
So that's why again, this podcasting, I have no idea what I'm doing with this, but I was like, this will be fun.
Sometimes you just gotta jump.
Yeah. And all this stuff I just started building one day. I had the idea of the sessions, which I'm still looking for artists. If anyone wants to show off their art, show off their music, perform around 40 to 60 minutes of original music live here in this studio, I will put it online for you. 2 songs will go online for promotion, and 2 songs will be behind the Patreon. I will also make CDs of these recordings, and I'm going to start selling them at shows and stuff.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. These handmade CDs. I wish I had one on me, but yes, I plan on just working myself to the bone for music, in whatever way possible. The best way to help me is with this Patreon. But anyway,
I
don't know.
a couple months ago. I had a great time.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so great because you're building a community around here.
Building a community. This anymore. This studio has musicians in it. Different musicians coming through it every single day, and so there's going to be more and more music. I'm doing more studio recordings with people, so I'm going to be getting stuff on Spotify. It's going to be a good time. So if you want to support what we're doing, the idea is that I don't want the musicians to be paying for my studio time. I want the musicians to be making money. So if you support us on the Patreon, I don't have to charge the musicians, and I can pay the musicians for stuff like this podcast or these performances. So try to turn things around in this economy, because it's weird to me that a musician has to spend all this time and energy writing these songs, which is hard, getting these musicians together, which is hard, and then somehow coming up with $1,000 to make an album where you're in the studio, you have limited amount of time, you feel rushed, and then you're not sure if it's going to come out how you even want it. I don't like that situation. I'd rather let us make art and then have people fund us to do the art. And I don't know. With
it, and in the age of like the content creation, it's a great business model. Like you just put stuff out there and
so that's my goal. Any help that anyone wants to throw towards this is appreciated. But this is not about me. This is about Michael Stanton and the Shade. So we have coming this Saturday. We are playing at Arts Fest. What time are we playing?
Yes, sir. 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
University Plaza stage.
At the University Plaza stage. So is that the stage right by the University Plaza Hotel?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. 3 o'clock. 3 to 3:45.
3 to 3:45 on over on Walnut Street by the University Plaza Hotel for Arts Fest. Come support all the arts. Buy some stuff. I'm there like almost every year.
Yeah, I went last year with my daughter. We didn't play in it, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I just love walking down the street and
you got different tables and booths set up with artists, and there's multiple stages and close off the street. It's cool.
It's always a good time, and you can get like corn dogs and stuff.
I think there's food trucks.
Yeah, there's food trucks.
And I think it's $5 a person. Kids under 5 are free. $5 for a day pass.
That's good to know. $5 per person. That's a good deal. That's you get music. You can go to multiple stages of music, and again, you can look at all this great art that all these local people have. Yeah. It's a good time.
It's good for all ages too. There's like on different stages. There's dance groups. And so whatever kind of music you're into, whatever kind of art, whether it be painting or whatever, they got it all. So.
We are just a small part of this event that happens all weekend.
Yep.
So please go check that out, and thank you for listening or watching. And now we will have a performance of us playing The Shade.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Sorry.
What can I do? I found a fight and I brought it to you. Love of mine, what can I say? If your love's the sunlight, then I'm in the shade today. Oh my love, I've been a fool. Now build my walls 10 feet tall between me and you. Now I sit alone with my thoughts and my phone. I'm still waiting for the right words to come out all wrong. If your love's the sunlight, am I in the shade today? Don't leave me out in the cold, all alone on the hallway floor. Now are you on the other side, locked behind our bedroom door? Well, I heard your tears and called out your name. I've got a mouth like a gun, firing bullets of shame. If your love's the sunlight, well, am I in the shade today? Whoa, 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 whoa. Won't you open the door and sit by me on the floor? We could be two battered soldiers who forgot what the fight was for. Can I hold your hand, and will you give me a smile? It makes the whole world shine brighter than it has in a while. If your love's the sunlight, am I in the shade? If your love's the sunlight, well, am I in the shade? If your love's the sunlight, am I in the shade today?